Podtacular, the unofficial Halo Universe podcast, presents episode 770, New Map, Who Dis? Recorded live on February 18th, 2021. Hello everyone, welcome to Podtacular, the unofficial Halo Universe podcast. I am one of your co-hosts, Duststorm.
And I'm your other co-host, Godzilla T.
And we are back with a little bit of Halo news update, this time for MCC. We got quite a bit of stuff coming to MCC.
We got a wee bit.
We got a nice wee bit. And if trend goes for the Infinite stuff, we'll have some Infinite news next week. So that should be fun.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, we'll see. So we've got our initial Podtacular update. We're going to start off with heading over to GT. And we actually haven't talked about this for a little bit, but how's Fragging Friday been the past couple of weeks?
It's been great. Last week we had a lot of fun. We actually had a packed lobby, and pretty quickly too. We pretty much moved right into custom games. Had a lot of fun. We played a couple of games of Warzone. Got our butts kicked. Badly.
As we do. Well, no, I take that back. I take that back. There was that one week. There's
one week that we got on a pretty good roll. But yeah, we weren't on the roll this last week. No. Yeah, like 300 to 1,000. We got cored.
Yeah.
Once.
I think I heard Joker talking on one of his streams earlier this week. Is Warzone legendary firefight double XP now? Permanent double XP? One of the Warzone playlists is permanent double XP now.
I think it was.
Probably something.
Well, I think it's. Before, but I forget. It's the one that they combined because there was there's heroic and legendary.
Well, legendary got combined to heroic, so it's heroic difficulty with a legendary payout. Right.
That's the one that's double XP. So I think it's the heroic because legendary doesn't exist anymore. Because heroic and then the mythic
exists. Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
For those that just really want to beat their head against the wall,
who really want that challenge. Although it's probably not as crazy as LASO, admittedly, but still a crazy enough challenge. Nonetheless. So, anyways.
Do you remember your run for ODST? You just did like a month ago?
The Endure?
Where you had to get through that fourth set?
Endure, yes.
Yeah. It's not like, LASO. It's worse. Oh.
No, Endure is significantly easier than LASO. Alas, I will attempt it. I will eventually prevail.
The only thing Endure has over LASO is you don't have to restart to the last checkpoint or restart the mission if you die.
Right. You have a bank of lives.
I guess if you die enough times you do, but
if you run out of lives, then then you have to restart. Well, that's good. Sounds like we've been hitting up the Halo 5 train for quite a while.
That's what they keep picking.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see if that eventually changes with some upcoming updates to MCC, which we'll talk about here.
You never know.
Yeah. And we've got an incoming flight, which we'll get into here in a little bit as well.
Incoming!
Yeah. For achieving Halo, haven't actually done much on that lately. Last week was Valentine's Day, so I spent some time with my wife. Hopefully, for those who have significant others in your lives, hopefully you had some good quality time with them. Before that, did some more Spartan Strike missions, and then also did some MCC challenges as well. So that was the week before last, so 2 weeks ago. And that's what we've been doing for Achieving Halo.
Woohoo!
On the company commendation side of things, again, we're still chipping
Plugging
away at
away.
things. Yep. On the vehicle splatters, we have 53 to go. So we still haven't quite gotten there yet. Somehow. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I figured we'd have got that a long time ago, but
I know.
I guess not.
I know. I thought we would. Next month we'll have a chance to in 2 weeks' time, which we'll get to that in a second, as well. And then headshots, we have quite a ways to go. We have just under 15,000 on that one, and then standard weapon kills. We're actually not too bad off on that one. We have 13,000 there. It looks like, and the last two are still the last two. Yeah, getting Marine kills and killing in a Spartan with a ground vehicle. So, yep, those are company commendations. Tales from the Foxhole, not a lot of updates this week. MH Cosplay has a couple other updates on some of his projects that he's been working on. And then we've got, actually, I think that's pretty much it. That's the only new stuff that we have, Tales from the Foxhole wise. So, again, if you have anything Halo related that you want to share with us and want us to talk about on the show, feel free to go on over to our Discord, drop it in there. Could be anything from a funny Halo clip to any little Halo project that you're working on. It could be cosplay, artwork, any kind of creation, fanfic. If it's anything related to Halo or a fun, cool story that you have, maybe with talking about Halo with your friends or your brother or your sister or whatever, drop it in the Discord and let us know. We'd love to hear about it.
Or how, your co-host on a particular podcast happens to do an achievement in 5 tries where it took you an hour to get the same achievement.
Oh, you saw that, did you? Do you want to talk about that?
Yes, I did see that, Dust. Apparently, Dust, the gods shined brightly on him because he basically did the same achievement I made a video on, where I didn't even show half my failed attempts in the video in 5 tries.
Yeah, it was about that many. Yeah. Anywho, should we move on? It sounds like it's kind of a stressful topic for you.
That's kind of like another friend of mine, Pens, and a certain other piece of gear that was collected for just being dead. But we won't mention that particular game on this podcast.
Is that a Destiny story?
Anyway.
I'm sorry to hear that. Get F's in the chat for GT struggles.
Anyway,
right.
At least I got a good video out of it.
Yeah, and it was a very well edited video.
And the stress of trying to do that for an hour.
Right. Yeah, it was a good video. It was well put together, even despite all of the failed attempts. To be fair,
like I said, that's not even half the failed attempts.
Right. To be fair, I know 343 said that they were working on maybe some fixes and identifying some bugs around the challenge specifically. So something may have gotten implemented between the time you did it and I did it. I also went straight to Xbox to do it. I didn't try it on PC because I was getting an error trying to launch MCC on PC. The easy anti-cheat would keep crashing my game whenever I tried to launch it. So I haven't tried since then to see if I can actually play MCC on PC again. So I went over to Xbox and did it, which I know people have been having better luck with doing it on Xbox than on PC. So a couple extraneous factors.
Well, I could see that with the increase in frame rate that you get on PC could throw the timing off on it. So I could see how that could be a problem. But, I was not expecting to get it quickly anyway, because, when I went to do it for the first time on 360, it was like 3 hours. So to get it accomplished in an hour, I was truly impressed that I was able to do it that quickly.
Yeah, I think it took me an hour. An hour? An hour when I first did the achievement on 360. Or something around that.
Well, let me rephrase that. It took me 3 1-hour segments to get it on Reach. Because after jumping off that stupid cliff for an hour, I just said, screw it. And I went and did something else.
And come back around and do it again.
Uh-huh.
And I'm sure there's people that probably need that achievement before everything gets shut down in December. So we'll probably have some kind of play date to go for that achievement for people and help stage that. So,
well, see, that's the good thing about that one. All they got to do is they got to go in there and start jumping off the cliff.
Yeah.
Eventually they'll
really
get it
on your own. Yeah. well, hopefully eventually they get it.
Eventually the magical gods will give it to you. Eventually.
You never quite know if you're actually going to get it or not until you get it.
Well, I will tell you this. Both times that I have gotten it, I have actually taken health damage. So I actually smacked the ground before and assassinated Elite to get the achievement.
So you
both times that I've done that, it's
like
I don't know what it is
between these.
Yeah,
you probably like landed as you were like right as you trigger the animation. There's usually like a couple frame delay between when you actually hit the button. You go into the animation and it actually kind of snaps in that you're doing an assassination. So you were probably hit it right in those like 2 or 3 frames where you would have actually hit the ground and assassinated it, and probably gave it to you there. So, hey, at least you got it.
Yeah, my favorite one on that one was that there were some times, and I would be hitting the same spot on the ground, and I'd miss the punch, and I would even take shield damage, which made me question, am I really high enough?
Yeah. Well,
so
and that's why you have to get that jump.
So the next one, I'd run out and every time I jump to get that little extra bit of height, and just, I would just fall on that same spot just to make sure it'd kill me. Just to make sure. So.
Yep. Yeah, it's very tricky because like it's just high enough, but depending on how far you go out and how like that difference between like landing and taking just a little bit of damage and landing and dying is so small. It feels like it's less than like 6
it's
inches.
like the deal is I wasn't taking any damage. You know how you like in CE when you crouch in the right point when you fall, you don't take any damage?
Yep.
Yeah, it's like that.
Yeah,
which reminds me.
It's it's not a gradual gradient of damage. It's pretty much you're either alive or there's a very small window where you can take some increasing amount of damage and then you're dead.
Have you seen Mint Blitz's latest aerial assassination?
Yes.
Since we're on this particular subject.
I'm kind of wondering how he glitched out into that battlefield out there with
I don't know. I have no idea. But trust me, go watch it. Look up Mint Blitz on YouTube and watch his latest video.
Yeah, I think this was.
He takes that whole falling from extreme height to a new level.
Yep. Yeah, and it's the things that he does. His Halo skill is something else.
That is no doubt. Anyway, that's our tale from the foxhole this week.
There you go. Yeah, thank you, Mint Blitz, and other buggy challenges and achievements, and yeah.
And everybody knows which list Dust's on for the rest of the year.
So, what do we got for matchmaking updates, GT?
Well, it looks like for this weekend, we've got Action Sack rotating in. 343 did hold a Action Sack play date today.
Yep.
Which I was unable to attend because of, life, work.
Same here.
Anyway, so for February 25th, we have CE Anniversary Throwback rotating in, and Warzone Turbo goes live.
Turbo time.
Maybe we ought to pay Jeff Steitzer to do that.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
I wonder if he.
I don't think he.
Nah, I don't think he has one.
No, he doesn't. But we know
Maybe
people. We
connections. Maybe.
Yeah.
Anyway,
exactly. Yeah.
then we've got starting in March 4th. That is the spring 2021 arena season begins. So make sure you get your get ranked up in at least one playlist.
Keys.
So you can get the free stuffs.
Yep.
For also on March 4th, the ranked snipers goes live. Okay. We get Castle Wars rotating in.
Yeah.
And maybe we can get those last splatters we need.
Yes. Yes, we need them, please. Please.
We need splatters.
Yes.
On March 11th, we have Triple Team rotating in and Warzone Assault going live. On March 18th, we have Core Play rotating in for Triple Team. And then on March 25th, we have Forerunner Slayer rotating in and Warzone Turbo goes live again. So that's your
turbo time.
That's your look at the next 2 months of playlists.
Yeah, that's quite a bit of a heads up on that one. Thank you.
It's nice when they actually update that, Uni. Anyway, for the Master Chief Collection, we got Shoddy Snipes rotating into 4v4 or FFA. Unfortunately, Griffball's been put away.
Yeah.
Anyway.
DJ put a tweet earlier today, it was either yesterday or today, saying that, hey, 343, can you keep Griffball around for a little longer? Because I was without power for the last 3 days. Because he's been out of power too.
Yeah.
This cold weather, man, it's no joke.
Yeah, it's not. Like I said, I gripe about how cold it's been here, but I don't even want to know how cold it's been north of me.
Yeah.
I won't tell you what my truck's been telling me every morning when I start it.
Oh no. And that's probably, I guess, before. Does your truck have it where it usually kind of like adjusts up to what the actual temperature is after like a couple minutes?
Oh no, I don't have anything fancy like that. I'm just talking about when I go to start the thing. It argues with me.
It probably takes a little bit to actually get going through the cold.
Yeah, I can't tell you what it says. I would have to bleep it all out.
It's effing cold. Don't drive me right now.
I don't want to go. Anyway, what do we got for MCC development updates?
We've got DuckTales from 3 weeks ago, actually. And this is actually a narrative story a little bit from Dana Patrick talking about some of the inspiration behind the Season 5 challenges. So it wasn't as much of an update as it was kind of some placeholder interview type stuff. So that was for the 29th of January. On the 5th of February, we've got quite a few things. A workaround for the Because You Begged. So the same challenge that our beloved GT spent 3 hours trying to get, but got a cool montage out of it.
Not the second time.
Right.
The first time.
Right. They got a cool montage out of it. So there's that. February is Black History Month, and there's the nameplate for that. HCS Halo 3 weekly tournaments are now back. Updates on quit bans, and when you can quit, public service announcement, and then the flighting update. So the quit ban PSA. This is what happens. Your first offense is a 1-minute ban, which is better. I think it was 5 minutes for anything going at the first. So now it's just 1 minute. Second offense is 3 minutes. Third offense is 5 minutes. Fourth offense is 10 minutes. And then any additional offenses is an additional 10 minutes. And then for the February 12 update, we have a screenshot of a new map, courtesy of Halo Online, that will be coming to Halo 3 on MCC, courtesy of the Season 6 content. And we haven't gotten a new map. Well, I mean, I guess technically, if you include Reach as
well, we haven't technically gotten a new map in Halo 3 in a decade. Oh.
Right? Not since DLC for Halo 3. So we're getting a new map in MCC, which is that's pretty awesome. looks like it has some turf vibe
Mm-hmm.
a little bit, but it's in an ice cave or an ice cavern of some kind. Not a lot of detail on the map specifically. There's a screenshot in this, or this screenshot was actually in the tweet that referenced this update. And then there's another screenshot in the community update on the Halo Waypoint blog that we'll talk about here in just a minute as well. So we got 2 screenshots of a brand new map. And thank you, Pins, for the link to the video. Also, in the February 12 update, we get a look at what we're going to be flighting, not this week, but next week in MCC. So make sure your Halo Insider profiles are up to date if you want to participate in flighting for MCC. And we have a custom games browser coming, which is really awesome. I know a lot of people have been asking for that. New Season 6 content. New map for Halo 3 from Halo Online. And all of the images have waterfalls. Like, waterfall is either the code name or it's going to be the name of the map. FOV slider support for all Xbox One consoles. For those that want to play more PC style on console, there's also mouse and keyboard support for console. We also finally get double keybinds. Thank goodness. Been wanting that for so long. Advanced audio options and view model customization options. So pretty cool stuff looking at Season 6 for MCC. And there's a lot more maps from Halo Online. So I have a feeling that there's going to be probably a new map for, or possibly a few more new maps coming to Halo 3.
Now if we can just get a custom map browser. Maybe? Oh, never mind.
You mean file share or
file share, yeah.
File share, okay.
You know, so we could like find these customs. So we could browse what customs are out there.
Well, at least there is the custom
and maybe
games
hold
browser,
more than 50.
Well, that's a whole nother issue. The custom game browser is a nice move in the right direction, though.
Don't get me wrong; it's a nice touch.
Mm-hmm.
But for people that are hosting a game night and with all the content that is out there, I would love to see a way to browse through the content that is there.
Yeah.
You know, a way to look at all these custom maps and game types that people have put together in a central place.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to be able to hold more than 50 of them active in the game. I don't want to have to store them in my file share and then download them when I want to play them. And then after that, delete them so I can download the next one.
I'm honestly a bit surprised that it's not more of a community ask. Like, I know we talk about it here on all the time because we run custom game nights and there are so many modes and maps that are fun to play with like how many games are in MCC. And the fact that it's still such a low storage count is mind-boggling.
Honestly, it's really surprising that the forgers aren't screaming about it.
Yeah, I might have to ask some of them about it. Get their opinions on, hey, what do you think about not being able to really share your creations on MCC because there's no one can download them, or they have to toss out other ones just to, Anyways, you're absolutely spot on. It's an issue that.
Yeah, I mean you can have 3 times as many files on your file share than you can actually keep locally on your Xbox or even on your computer.
So are you supposed to be able to go into custom games and pull files in from your file share without having to download them locally first?
No, to play them, you have to download them.
Yeah, that seems
you can't play
backwards then.
Yeah, in MCC,
your local storage should be bigger than your online storage.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
I mean, in the original form of the games, well, at least Halo 3, Halo Reach, and Halo 4, I know you could have at least 100 of each.
Yes.
100 game types and 100 maps.
Yep.
And now we have 50 for all the games.
Yeah.
For Halo 2, Halo 1, Halo 2, Halo 2 Anniversary, Halo 3, Halo 4, Halo Reach. ODST. Of course, ODST doesn't have. Well, I guess now that
It does now.
done the
Has custom
now
modes
that they
now.
have custom settings for firefight, it's nowhere near enough.
Nope. It's certainly not. So 3 for 3, if you're listening, we'd appreciate more local storage, please, in MCC.
Yes.
That's probably our number one ask. More local storage.
Our number one asks. I don't know about anybody else, but our number one ask.
Well, that's why I'm saying ours, yeah. Anywho. Also, in the development and flight update, we have a design diaries talking about some potential way to unlock season pass content. So as some of you know, there's been a lot of challenge-based season content, which if you don't get it during the season, you can't get it. And some of it's been reach a certain rank in competitive, which, let's face it, not a lot of us who participate in the community are necessarily that competitive. We definitely have those groups of people. I'm looking at you, kids.
I'm never making rank 50. Ever.
Or 15, given some of the population stuff sometimes. But so they're looking into a way to be able to access that content through season points. So this is currently a work in progress. It's nothing that is set in stone yet. But take the Mr. Chief helmet that you would get from the Because You Begged. If for some reason you didn't get that challenge completed before Season 5 content went away, they're looking at being able to bring those back in some kind of store fashion so you can use your season points to unlock those content items if you didn't get them through the challenges originally. And there's a little interview between Postums and Max Lazor, who's the design director for the publishing team. And there's a couple of points in here that they mention specifically about what they're trying to do. So you won't be able to purchase the customization options outright, so you won't have to use real money to get them. It'll just be achievable by spending season points. And you can get more season points than what you actually need to fill out all of the season, or to purchase all the season content. So basically stock those up, and then you'll be able to get some of this additional stuff. Some of the content will rotate in each week, while others will be available for a certain duration of a season. Some will kind of come back and flow in, so it'll be kind of like a rotating store type thing. If you want some more detail about what they're kind of planning, again, it's in the MCC development and flight update forum post. There's a little more information over there about it, and we'll probably hear more information in the future. On to the main article of the week. We had a new community update come out last week during the show that we had with the LASO and speedrunners, which if you haven't listened to that one, if you haven't listened to episode 769 yet, I would highly recommend it. It was a really fun episode. We had Pro Ace Joker, Silver, and Mythic Tyrant, all pretty well-known names within the LASO and speedrunning realms of the Halo community. So if you haven't had a chance to listen to that, I would highly recommend it. So this one is titled Love Letters, and we have our second screenshot of the new map, Waterfall. We've also got a picture of the custom game browser, and there's something that I noticed in here, repeat game. So it looks like you could set something up and basically kind of have it be almost like a dedicated server where you can kind of keep just the game going over and over and over again, which would be pretty interesting. I'm interested to see how much more of that is really expanded into that kind of like that dedicated server mode. Like maybe you can pick a map and mode variant, add it to like a playlist, and then have that lobby basically just go through that playlist of games. So we'll see what happens next week when all this comes out in the flighting. Should be exciting. We've got some updates on some Halo esports events that are happening across the Pro Series, HES Grassroots, and Cliptrosity is coming back as well. So we've got Halo 3 on MCC for the Pro Series, and we've also got Halo 5 Guardians events. Those series have opened back up and are going every week now. In North America, it's all the alternating Open and Pro, and then in the International, it's the month long of opens, and then the one pro after that. All of this season is happening between last week for MCC and the week before for Halo 5, and going through the weekend of April 11th. If you want to sign up for those, then you can head on over to halowaypoint.com and look up the community update. We've got some HCS grassroots events happening this weekend. We've got the SWAT Nation Halo 5 SWATentine 2v2 tournament happening Sunday, February 21st at noon Eastern Time. We've also got a BTB play date in Europe. This is happening Wednesday, February 24th at 6 p.m. British time. And that is going to be on Halo 2 Anniversary and Halo 3. That should be fun. For Halo Wars 2, 343 has a little blurb in here talking about future plans for Halo Wars 2 and basically the fact that there is none. So there's no current plans for any future content updates, balance patches, or bringing the title to other platforms like, for example, Steam on PC. So basically...
At this time.
Right, at this time. Doesn't necessarily mean they won't at some point in the future come back around to it. There's also not any current plans for any sequel to Halo Wars 2. Doesn't mean that it won't happen. It's just, for the time being, there are no plans going forward.
Well, honestly, right now, 343's plate is really full.
Yeah, between, let's see, MCC, all the season stuff that they have going on there, and I don't know, there's this game called Halo Infinite that's supposed to be coming out this year.
I heard something somewhere along the lines. Basically, people are crying, wanting Halo 5 to come to PC, which I totally understand. And it's a fair thing to ask, especially since 1 through 4 is there. But right now, they're focused on getting the new stuff out and finishing up with what they started with MCC. So give them some time, and let's get this game rolling and then see what comes in the next year or two.
Yep. And if you remember, Halo Wars 2 was kind of a surprise to most people as well. It was not expected, and then it came out, and it got a really good reception.
Yeah, it did.
This doesn't at all mean that we're not going to see a Halo Wars 3. I'd be very surprised if there was not some kind of Halo Wars 3 in the future. It's just that it might be another 5-10 years,
10 years
before there is one, or with the fact that they've redone the entire Halo engine, maybe there's an RTS component that they could do within the Slipspace engine, and maybe that's tacked on to Halo Infinite in some way as some kind of campaign experience, but instead of first-person shooter, it's in the same engine somehow, and it's an RTS campaign.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, you never know.
Because didn't Bonnie at some point say in, wasn't it like in an interview with Ryan McCaffrey, like during the holidays or something, how they were basically saying that they wanted to possibly use the Slipspace engine just outside of just first-person shooters?
I don't remember hearing that, but it's entirely possible.
Okay. So, Pens, Laird, you guys might know what I'm talking about, or maybe I'm just thinking of something.
It's honestly been too long since I've actually listened to that interview. I remember the interview that you're talking about, but I honestly just don't remember.
And since Bobby is actually here in the chat, and he mentions that he'll finally be able to flight, Bobby's gonna not have BobbyNet anymore. So he's getting an internet upgrade here pretty soon.
No more BobbyNet. Darn, we have no one to blame.
Yeah, can't blame Biowolf anymore. Can't blame Bobby anymore. We gotta find a new person to blame. So that's still good, because when it comes to Halo Bowl, that'll be very helpful.
I don't know. BobbyNet might be an advantage.
Maybe. depends on how the host situation pans out. Pens is saying we blame Keys, so we'll see. We'll see who the new person to blame is going forward. We got some radar blips as well. For those of you who didn't hear, there was a group of some female Halo streamers that got together and raised money for Gamers Outreach. They did a 24-hour stream and actually managed to raise enough money to get to support 4 go-karts, which is no small feat.
No, it's not.
Through our Halo Bowl stuff, we average pretty much nowadays. We average 1 go-kart per Halo Bowl. So the fact that they were able to get 4 in a 24-hour stream is nothing to balk at. So that was that's very good to see how the community came to support them. So congratulations out there to Oath XX, Join Us, Butoria, Cardinal Redbird, Echidna, and Kitchen Bound on your 24-hour stream and your fundraising for Gamers Outreach. And then a lot of people probably know this one, but Halo has come out with some Halo themes that you can use on Edge. So if you want to kind of spice up your Edge browser with a Halo theme, then that is available for you in, I think, just part of the Edge store that you can go and get themes. But yeah, so you can Halo-fy your Edge. And that's pretty much it. There was a Ask 343 Sandbox team interview that Unisec did with Quinn DeHoya. And there's some interesting information in there about some of the Sandbox stuff. Uni mentioned in the last Infinite update that they were going to do this Ask 343. And there were some interesting questions in there. Things about how the grapple shot works, some of the weapon changes that they did to the Sandbox. One of the questions that someone asked was, can you skyjack a Banshee using the grapple shot? And you can, which is going to be interesting to be able to kind of grapple shot vehicles and jack them. There's some other things that Quinn kind of hints at that people ask about. Things like certain weapons and some grenade stuff, some other weapons that fill certain roles that they haven't talked too much about. So there's some additional information in that interview that kind of supplements the Halo Infinite update we got from last month. I don't see them not doing this for future updates. So once we get the next Halo Infinite update, which we're expecting to be next week, they will probably do this Ask 343 again. And it will probably be a very lore-focused one because the next one is supposed to be about bringing the world of Zeta Halo to life. That's going to get a lot of the lore folks interested, I'm sure.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. And that's it for the community update that we got. Today was probably going to be a community spotlight. I haven't seen it come out yet. If that happens, then we'll probably talk about it next week after the Infinite info dump next week. Depending on when that comes out, we may or may not be doing a podcast. So if it is out before Thursday, we'll have a podcast on it. If not, then we'll probably just make next week's podcast a gaming night and then come back the week after to have the big Halo Infinite news discussion.
Let everything kind of soak in and roll around a little bit.
Yeah. At that point, we'll have our next MCC update as well, because those usually come at the very last day of the month anyways. So we'll see what happens. We've got a couple of Fiction Fridays that we've missed, GT, haven't we?
A couple.
Just a few. What do we got?
Just a couple. First one is designed by Forerunner builders over 100,000 years ago. Genesis houses a critical gateway to the enigmatic. Thank you, Dust. Brain saw it, mouth wouldn't say it. Domain. And then we've got one on the Mantis.
You're gonna have fun with this one.
Yeah, this. It's all your fault, Graham. I know you make this. Never mind. An evolution of the earlier hurting exoskeleton.
Grunting. Yep.
And got no freaking Yggdrasil. Okay,
Yeah,
that's okay. Yggdrasil research. The Mantis is an all-environment bipedal walker used primarily by the UNSC Army, Marine Corps, ONI direct action teams, and private security forces. So it's used by everybody.
Pins is saying Yggdrasil is the tree of life in Norse mythology.
Yes, I know what it is.
Did you not watch Thor? I watched Thor, but I didn't catch that. But
it comes up in multiple different religions, and it's popped up in multiple different storylines that I've followed over the years.
Okay. Anyways, and then the last thing we have is yesterday was Jen Taylor's birthday.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Cortana!
Brainwashed.
Oh, doggone it.
Is that the one?
That button's broken. That's not what that's supposed to be. But anyway.
Uh-oh. He needs to update his
I could
soundboard.
fix it, but I won't right now. That is actually supposed to be happy birthday.
Oh. That would have been perfect. Except it wasn't.
I know. I'm
Wolf, we can still blame you, so we're blaming you. Until you have better internet. That's your fault.
It's all your fault.
Some new products have been coming out for the Halo Nerf blasters. We've got the Mangler, the Spanker Microshot, and the Needler blaster, now available for purchase from Hasbro.
Brainwashed.
Still said brainwashed.
Yeah, it does.
I think I just got the Mangler in the mail today. Or sorry, not today, earlier this week. And got to look into the Microshot and the Needler blaster. Like I'm trying to get those at some point. We've also got a new UNSC camo face mask for those enthusiasts who want to wear your masks in style. And then we've also got the Target exclusive fig pin now available for a pre-order at Target. So if you're like me and you went ahead and bought the 3, as I'm holding them up to our live stream audience, the 4th one is now available for pre-order at Target, which I have gone ahead and pre-ordered. And it is $14.99 plus shipping at Target. You fix your happy birthday yet?
No. But I know what I did wrong.
Okay. At least you figured it out. On the community highlight side of things, we have a new article from Haruspis, everything that happened to 343 Guilty Spark after Halo 3. This is kind of a prelude to the Point of Light book that comes out in a couple of weeks. It's actually already been out in the wild. Some of the lore community have already received it. I know Haruspis has gotten it. Installation 00 got it. I'm not sure who else got it. I know both of them have received copies of the book. We used to get copies of books. We don't anymore. Probably because I'm behind. That's probably why.
Happy birthday.
There we go.
There we
Happy
go.
birthday, Cortana.
Better late than never.
That was actually pretty good. On the podcast side of things, we've got more episodes from HCS Pro Talk, Podcast Evolved, and Sacred Icon Halo, so feel free to go check them out, the content that they're making. We've also got some YouTube stuff. We've got another monthly recap from Halo Canon. We've got a new Banished Primer series, courtesy of Covey Canon, doing some Banished stuff now. Installation 00 managed to reach 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. So congratulations, man.
Yeah, congratulations.
He's also been doing some new series on his YouTube channel. So if you haven't checked him out in a while, feel free. I would recommend going over and checking out. He's been making a lot of content lately. It's hard to keep up with how much content that he puts out. It really is. Ubernick did a unpopular edition of a Halo tier list. We've also got some new crazy things from Rocket Sloth. They're always posting new crazy stuff. And there's General Heat's also another fun one to just see random stuff out there as well. Shawei has a new video, Habits of a Halo All-Star. kind of going into some things that separate out the men from the boys as far as the competitive Halo players go. But yeah, just how your casual Halo player and your pro players really differ in mindset and habits on how you play, practice, and all that stuff.
Oh, definitely.
Podcast Evolved has a soundtrack now, so they've been releasing some more of the tracks from that on their YouTube. And Mint Blitz has reached 300 million XP on MCC. It's played quite a lot of it.
That's a lot of XP.
It is a lot of XP. And then finally, from Halo VFX, we have a remastered cutscene, or his render version of the one of the final cutscenes from Halo 3. It's the very opening of the mission Halo, when the Pelican crashes on Halo and you have Master Chief and Arbiter, and it's really well done. The animation's a little janky in my opinion, but it looks incredible.
It looks really good.
We're actually trying to get him lined up to be on the show at some point, because he has his little kind of machinima project, Operation Charity Falls. Might be Operation Charity Falls. That he's been working on. He has 2 episodes out. He's still working on his 3rd episode, which is supposed to be coming out next month, I believe. So we're trying to get him on the show. A few other people as well. So it'll be interesting to talk to him and his workflow, his process, and what he does there. And we've got another Halopedia Trivia Tuesday. So thank you, Halopedia, for all of your random little tidbits and facts. What do we got, GT, for Trivia Tuesday?
Oh, I don't know. Some stuff. Give me a second here. All right, for Trivia Tuesday, did you know that McFarlane Toys made a limited edition Noble 7 figure for Comic-Con 2010? This figure had a Bungie-inspired paint job.
I did not know
Cool.
that.
I didn't either. Of course, I've never been really into the toys either, but...
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, figures.
Right, figurines, because you don't want to offend that group. Yeah, Noble's like...
It looks like Noble 6 with a different paint job.
Yeah, and some different armor pieces. Like it has...
But yeah, I mean, it's like a cross between Noble 6 and Cat.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Like, was that supposed to be... Was Noble 7 a thing, or was it just something that they just called it Noble 7 because...
I think they just called it Noble 7. So I don't think Noble 7 was actually ever a actual character.
Thing. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was one of those things where it was possibly written into the story because, I mean, 7. Bungie number right there. So it's just kind of one of those things scratching your head. It's like, maybe there was at some point that they were planning on a Noble 7 for Reach, but I guess not. So, anyways.
You know, with Bungie, you never know.
Exactly. Which is kind of why I made the point.
By the way, and this is kind of a little off topic, but I would like to congratulate Bungie with their recent announcements with their expansion. They're actually going global.
Continuing their pursuit of world domination in Amsterdam.
World domination.
Amsterdam?
Mm-hmm. Which is really, considering where they were 10 years ago, that it's impressive.
Yes, it is. So good on you guys. That's quite an accomplishment.
Congrats.
They've definitely grown. I mean, they have a legacy to support it.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, I mean, some of the choices that they've unfortunately had to make from other investors and whatnot. Yeah. Yeah, that's business for you.
It's corporate. See, unfortunately, the thing that happens when you become a corporate entity like that, this stuff happens. I have yet to see a business do it any other way.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. It's a business. But I do wish them all the luck. And I hope that they do well in their new
I wonder if
venture.
it's going to be some, like, because a lot of these other studios that have multiple branches, usually those different branches work on different games.
Well, they have had a rumored game floating around for the last few years that they've supposedly been working on.
I am really not aware of this. Do tell. Oh, okay.
No, that's about all there is of it. There's not a whole lot to tell. They have announced that they are working on a new IP, and that's pretty much about all the information they've given.
Okay.
I mean, there's been some theories poked out about who it's for and what market they're going for, but there's been no information released about it. And this could be the next step in that is this Amsterdam global headquarters to help distribute the game or international headquarters, whatever they called it. I forget what they actually called it, but it's they're growing. They're looking to add quite a few jobs, which is again impressive, and I hope they do well.
I mean, granted, I don't play Destiny. It's a rough game for me, but definitely respect the background that Bungie has, especially with Halo and all the other games. And
mm-hmm.
not to say Destiny is a bad game. It's just the grindiness of it is not for me.
Well, yeah, don't get me wrong. Destiny has pissed off a lot of people lately.
Yeah.
It's just, and it's choices that were made, but it's no different than some of the choices that were made for Halo. You can't make everybody happy all the time. And you have to do what you can do. The way they did things, it just made people mad. And that's okay, because it doesn't matter what you do, you're going to make somebody mad.
Yeah.
I honestly haven't had that much time to play it lately, so it really hadn't affected me that much.
So that's pretty much all we've got for the podcast tonight. Again, if there's more news next week for Halo Infinite, which we're expecting possibly next week is going to be the next round of stuff for Halo Infinite news, then we'll be back talking about that. We've also got another MCC update that we're expecting at the end of the month as well. So depending on how things drop and when things drop, we'll either be back next week with another podcast. Maybe I'll find an interview that we could fill the time with at some point, or we'll be doing a game night to fill in the podcast time slot. Either way, we'll be here, whether we're gaming or whether we're doing the podcast. Feel free to come on back here Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time when we do our podcast live right here on Twitch. You can also join us on Fridays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time as well for Fraggin' Friday. That is hosted by GT, and the community picks what we play in our Discord server. If you want to have an input into what we play on Friday nights, then head on over to our Discord server, podtacular.com/Discord, and pick what game that we're going to play. We usually leave it up to the community on what we're playing, either Halo 5 on Xbox or Halo the Master Chief Collection crossplay, because you can crossplay on multiplayer. It's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
We've also got Achieving Halo, which happens on Sundays at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. I know I've said in the past that might change. So far, we're kind of keeping it that way. We're going through challenges in Halo the Master Chief Collection, and I am also going through Spartan Strike because I actually never played or finished the game, to a lot of people's surprise from about a month ago. So we'll be doing that as well. And those are our streams, so if you are following us on Twitch, then we'd appreciate you come over and participate in those streams or participate in the game nights. We've also got the podcast that you can find on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Podcasts, Stitcher, any place that you can listen to podcasts, we are probably there. If there's some place that we are not, please reach out to us and let us know so we can get on the platform where you would like to get your podcasts delivered. We also have our Spartan Company and our Xbox Club, which you can join. We went through some of the company accommodations that we're still going for. Still trying to get that Keeley helmet, even though at this point we'll probably not get it done before Infinite, but we're still trying anyways. Podtacular.com/company.
Yeah, it's like we'll hit 152
Yeah, I'm not doing
too.
that before Infinite comes out.
Oh,
I still want to try to get there, but not before Infinite comes out. Although if Warzone Heroic is indeed double XP, that does make it a tiny bit easier, I will say.
yeah, it does, but it's just it wears on you pretty quickly.
Bobby says with his
At least
vacation
me.
next week and the incoming bandwidth upgrade, he's hoping to spend the day in Halo 5. There you go. We've also got our Xbox Club, podtacular.com/Xbox, that you can join up on as well. And then you can also support the podcast in a number of different ways. First way is by those right here on Twitch, just following us here. And for all of our subscribers as well, thank you for subscribing. Thank you to Pins to being the number one the gifter of subscriptions on the podcast. We really appreciate it, Pins. Right, don't break the
Pins
bank
is our
doing
Santa
it, but,
Claus.
we appreciate it nonetheless. We've also got a Patreon as well for those that would like to help support the podcast that way and get some perks out of it as well. Podtacular.com/Patreon. And thank you to Confal, Pins, and Prestige for your contributions over on Patreon. You can also donate to us if you would rather support us that way by going to podtacular.com/donate. Again, feel free to hop on over into our Discord, podtacular.com/Discord. Vote for what we're going to be playing on Friday night for our Fragment Friday. We'll see if we get Halo 5 again this coming week. Seems to be the trend. I'm curious with flighting next week if we'll jump into flighting. Maybe we'll do a split lobby. We'll have to see how that works out. But stay tuned, and we will let you guys know. Any final thoughts before we wrap things up tonight, GT?
Look forward to seeing you on Friday nights. Have yourself a wonderful
Sounds good.
end of week. And hopefully it's warming up where you are.
Yes.
Brr.
I will echo that sentiment. Everyone be safe out there, stay warm, and we'll catch you all next week. If not, on one of our other streams over the weekend. Drugs.